We've always said that you need to talk to the children when they're young if you want to get them immersed in their culture, because they don't have the inhibitions that the older children have. When it comes to getting in a bowl of dough and mixing their hands in it, the little children are far more receptive to it than the older students. I had a grandmother who was Cree. She left the reserve to marry, lost her culture, lost all her identity, and my mother was born off the reserve, married a farmer. She was the only grandparent I knew, but she was in denial of her culture. We would ask her questions about her life or where she came from, how she grew up, and she would never answer us. And it just became a thing for me to find out more about where she was from. She would make bread and she would cut up the bread and deep fry it, but she would never call it Bannock. And she made baking powder biscuits, which is like Bannock, but she would never call it Bannock. There's a lot of ways of cooking Bannock. Today we're going to just deep fry some, but I baked some in the oven. You could put it on sticks and put it in the fire. The Indigenous people, when they were on a buffalo hunt, they had to have other food as they're moving around. They could actually make Bannock on the trail. It was easy enough. And they could bring flour with them, or they could go into the wild and find roots of cattails and make their own flour. My culture, of course, being Cree, they were forced onto a reservation. And then the government, through treaty, said they would sustain their livelihood on a reserve with food. They reneged on those promises in the treaties. The buffalo was gone. Hunting was becoming more difficult, so they just basically scrounged for whatever they could find. And Bannock was one of the things they could make easily.
Okay, that's a lot.
The history of Bannock is negative to some people. Like, there's some Indigenous people that hate the story of Bannock. My emotion with Bannock is positive because it's something I can teach the children. I can tell them the story of my grandmother. They love to get their hands in there and knead the dough, and they get quite a blast out of it, actually. You need to teach them when they're really young and not let them forget what has happened over the years to get to a point of reconciliation. And we have a long way to go yet.